This episode of Full Coverage is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
From vacation rentals to hotels across the U.S., Booking.com has the ideal summer sleigh for absolutely anyone, even those who might seem impossible to please.
Find exactly what you're booking for, Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or on the app.
Let me get some things straight. I don't want to cuddle with you. I don't want to kiss you. I'm going to be talking to other girls. Don't ever call me babe again. What do you think when she was like, didn't care. Welcome to your favorite podcast. It's Full Coverage with your host, Laura Lee and
Manny, how you guys?
We're back on the couch today. Ty wants helicopter arms. No, he's not getting him.
Tyler's helicoptering arms right now.
Manny charges for those.
I do. Oh my God. I'm not even glam. What are you talking about? I can't even do that.
Today's episode is a little rapid fire. We have some hot tea with Wizard Liz, as well as, what else do we got, Manny?
Blake Lively.
Ooh, and the case
that was happening.
Casing.
Oh my God. The Just In Case that literally does not freaking end. I want to talk about Love Island.
Love Island, we must. So there's going to be some spoilers that we talk about in Love Island. So if you're not up to date and you haven't caught up, you might want to skip through that part a little bit, because we're going to be talking about, obviously, what's going on Love Island.
I want to go in on that.
I have a question. Do you get a new episode every night of Love Island?
Girl, why does it feel like that in a way?
Is it?
Or I thought it was every 2 days. Or every 3. I thought it was every
I bet it's
3.
every 2 days.
But for some, there was one last night and then there's one tonight again.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait.
The way I will do anything on earth but watch After Sun,
I
or this Unseen
After
Bits.
Sun.
You know how they'll do the bloopers and like the unseen skip.
There's even moments in the show when like they're being too like,
oh girl,
like let's say Huda and Jeremy.
Skip.
Like, I'm literally skipping.
Unless they're conversing, I don't want to see them make out for an hour.
Same.
Skip. Yep, I gotta get right to the meat.
I'll skip too. Same. I need this plot, the storyline.
Yes.
I cannot agree more.
You guys, the season of Love is. I keep calling it Love is Blind.
You do. It's Love Island.
Every time Manny's like Love Island, I'm like Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Love Island.
Charlie Puth.
Puth. That's me. That's Puth. I'm like Love is Blind.
Puth. That's literally you right now, dude.
Also, hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take. I feel like it might be, but I feel like ever since that one season of Love is Blind, where the girl says she looks like Megan Fox, like that iconic season, the show has just never been able to do that again.
I agree.
It has never been able to reach that level of entertainment ever again.
I can argue, and I think that the novelty of what it is has been gone.
Yeah.
Because there's so many seasons now, so it's not as novel of a situation.
And people like, they know what it is. We're talking about actual Love is Blind now, not Love Island, but they know what it is and they know like to go on there to get famous. 100%. Like it's kind of turned into that where they just try to connect with people, just try to connect with anyone, and
they'll literally just be like, yes, we're getting married.
Yes,
and, like, there's no
just to
connection.
get to the altar, just to get on TV. So
has there been, you guys, I'm curious, has there been a season that's good like that? Because I haven't
I have.
You have?
I think the newest season came out. Yeah, I watched the season after that one last year, and it was such a snoozer. Loved the people on it, but just like such a snoozer of an episode.
It didn't hit.
No.
I know there's like more of a recent one too that just came out.
Yeah, I think one just came out. I haven't watched it.
Same.
I might watch it, but last time I watched it, I was bored to death. So not loving that.
A snooze.
But yeah, we have a lot of hot topics.
Yes, we do.
You want to start with peaks and pits?
Yes, let's go start. I will do my peak.
Do your peak.
You know what? My peak is overall just that it's Pride Month.
Yes.
Just in general, it's Pride Month. Happy June, you guys. Happy Pride Month. Shout out to all my LGBTQIA plus and the A's, our allies out there, for just, being absolutely amazing and sickening and wonderful. And I'm sending you guys all positive, great vibes. And I'm hoping that you're in situations that you feel seen, that you feel heard, and you feel accepted.
Yes.
Because that is what Pride is about. There's so many parts of the world, of the country even, that being gay is just the worst thing in the world for people. So it really is about celebrating just who you are. And that's what Pride is actually about. A lot of people just want to think of Pride as like just a big gay party. And it is, in a way, it absolutely is a big gay party. But the reason that it is a party and we celebrate it is because of how much turmoil and strife LGBT people go through all the time.
Remember that time they try to convince us that drag queens are dangerous to children? You remember that time?
They do that all the time. That's still like actively happening right now.
So that's part of what Pride is about, is breaking that down, and not only that, but highlighting the good, the great, and celebrating people that are so dismissed, you know?
Yes, that are constantly dismissed all the time.
Yes.
And just ridiculed.
Exactly.
And seen as less than. And
so it's nice. I know a lot of smaller cities, people that are gay, they don't get that pride moment. And we're so lucky to live in a city like LA where, you do get to be celebrated, and you do get to be yourself, and you do get to come out and be so proud of who you are. So I just think that's such a beautiful thing. So happy Pride, everyone. I
love Pride Month. It just makes me feel like more seen than usual. And it's not like I'm saying I'm not even seen. Like, I'm very lucky to live in LA and things like that. But it is nice. I will say what I think is like pivoting into a little bit that I think is weird is that this year feels the least like celebratory when it comes to like businesses. Like, businesses are not celebrating Pride like they have in the past. And I know it's because of vitriol that brands have gotten because of celebrating Pride and being proud of the LGBT community. And so it is really sad to see, and it's unfortunate because I feel like it's digressing in ways, which is why we have to be more loud and more celebratory when we can, because it does feel like sometimes the voices get lost and they don't get heard, and
it slips under the rug, and then brands pull out because they don't want the negativity from it, and they're scared. Totally.
And it's sad, and it's just a sad thing to see. So I hope that we just continue to move forward in like the best way we can, and the LGBT community just stays strong and stays part of like, a pinnacle of community that they are.
I couldn't agree more. My pit this week is I listened to 3 Mel Robbins podcasts, maybe even 4. Did I say pit? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm so glad you're here to check me, because y'all, I say things that I don't hear all
you guys,
the time.
If I'm not aware, I'm following Laura saying that's not right. I just want you guys to know that. Sometimes we're on the same wavelength. We have one cell and we're activated. Anything she says, I am right. I'm plugged so fucking in. And people will be like, you didn't say that. I'd be like, yes, you did.
I just said my pit, and I just said love is blind. I'm a mess. I can't help it. My brain, I don't want to get into it.
You talk faster than your brain's thinking.
Maybe. Yeah. Not too much, though.
Not too much. Me shredding me. I'm like,
maybe. It's true. Okay, so I listened to like 3 or 4 of Mel Robbins podcasts. They're all great. But I had to narrow it down. I was like, I want to hit some points with you guys as my peak, because I feel like it's all life-changing stuff. So I had to narrow it down to one podcast.
You know how hard that is for her?
That's so hard. I was like,
damn it.
I can't break down 4 podcasts for them for a peak. I was like, they're going to be like, Laura, enough.
Like, okay.
So I broke it down to 1. So I listened to this podcast. It was on the 51% rule. And if you're the type of person that has a hard time making decisions, or you don't know the right decision to make, and that's what makes it a hard decision, or you sit on your hands when it's time for you to make a quick call, I listened to a podcast that's all about that. And it's a guy, he wrote the book. I just pulled it up because you guys, Lord help me.
Your football.
I'm going to link this podcast, by the way, down below. So if you're interested in listening to it, I highly, highly, highly encourage it. Stephen Bartlett, he's an entrepreneur. He has a #1 podcast that he started, The Diary of a CEO. And basically he took a company from 0 to 600 million. And he he's incredible. And he describes how he did it. And it was all with decision making. And he's done so much research and so much testing behind like how to do these things. And this goes beyond running a business. If you're not interested in running a business and you just have a hard time making decisions for your life, listen to this. I'll link the podcast down below, but it talks about there's 2 types of decisions that humans make. By the way, we make I think up to like 35,000 decisions a day. Shirt you wear, the shampoo you use, do you brush your teeth in the morning or not, like every little thing we do is a decision making thing. So that's how many we make a day, which is a ton. Crazy to think.
Makes sense.
It does make sense when you think like what we're eating, what
even
dressing you're
am
using.
I looking to the left right now?
Yes, that's a decision. That's one of your decisions. So we're always making decisions, but I think when it comes down to like our life, there's 2 types of decisions. There's type 1 decision, and I'm getting this information from the podcast, by the way. But type 1 decision is a decision you cannot go back on, meaning you're burning your boats. It is what it is. It's just a permanent decision. Type 2 decision is a decision you're going to make that you can go back on, or you can pivot from that decision. You're not in stone. 95 of the decisions we make are type 2 decisions. So
that makes sense.
It does make sense, right?
Just kind of like, just kidding.
It is very, very, very rare that we make a decision that we can't pivot from or change, or that we can't go back to our previous decision. So a good example they use is like, I'm a banker, but I think I want to be a teacher, but I'm scared because I've always done banking, but I'm not happy here doing banking, and I think I would like to be a teacher, but I don't know because I'm not a teacher. Like, I don't know. What if I do that and I'm not happy being a teacher either? And it really breaks down the data of it. It's like, we've already discovered you're not happy as a banker. Okay, so why would you not choose to try to be a teacher if you already know that you're not happy as a banker?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, the decision's essentially made for you.
Yes, the decision's made for you. And the more decisions you make in your life, the more you will fail. And the more you fail, the more knowledge you obtain. The more knowledge you obtain, the more power you now have. So basically, you can't really make a wrong decision is what it makes you more brave in decision making and whatever you want to do. You know, it's like, do I drop out of college and try this? Well, if you don't think you're going to be happy doing what you're doing, yes, you should. And let's say that also doesn't do, you drop out of college, you try to be an entrepreneur, that falls flat. You take all that you learn from that and you do something else with it, and you pivot. So like, there's no wrong decisions, and people sit on their hands forever not making a decision because they're too scared they're going to make the wrong decision, when there's like not really anything. There's no wrong decisions in life. It's all about learning. It's all about the experience and where that takes you to the next level. Again, failure is knowledge, and knowledge is power. And at the end of the day, you're going to win either way. But if you factually already know you're not happy in the relationship you're in, you're not happy at the job, you're not happy getting the degree you're getting, you have to change it. And you do that by making a decision and leaning into that decision and committing 100%. So Ty said T, but it's so true. If you want to get deeper into the podcast, they go through ways of making these decisions, and it's a 51% rule, meaning if you can come up with at least 51% data that decision could be good for you, and like a pros and cons list, do it. Do it. I
love that.
So basically, he also did a lot of research with decision making in business. So they used this example on the podcast, and it was like a dad had created a business. It was super successful, but our world is evolving at a rate that we cannot keep up with. I'm going to tell you that. Okay. Got that? So the son has grown up now, and he comes in running the business, but he makes decisions for the business very quickly. People come in the idea, he's like, do it. Marketing idea, do it. And their fail rate is high, but their learning rate is higher. So they're able to evolve the company faster. And basically, the son was blowing the company up because of how quick and how many decisions he was making for the business versus the father, who would think a month on one decision. Like, I don't know, like sit on his hands with decision making. And the more decisions that were made and acted upon, the more successful the business came. And they failed a ton, but when they would fail, they would learn from the experience, and then they would implement that into their next decision, and it would just go up, 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 up. People who do more fail more, and that's just a fact. And we've put so much pressure on the word failure as a negative thing, and it's such a good thing. Me and Manny has said on this podcast a million times, you do not learn on your best days. You do not learn anything when you win. It just feels good, but at the end of the day, I wish they wouldn't call it failure. It's just redirection.
Yeah, it's like learning even.
It's learning.
Like, you're just learning.
Failure should be rerouted as learning. Learn from that experience. But if you're stuck in a rut, I get this question all the time whenever I do like Q&As too. If you're stuck in a rut, you don't know what to do next, you don't know what decision to make, listen to this podcast. It will help you so much. I'll link it down below.
I love it. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, so that's my peak.
Honestly, I was like, I feel like it's a profound peak.
It is a profound.
I feel like it's like profound. Like, it's a freaking good one where it's like you're really kind of like honed in. Do you want to give us your pit while you're here?
While we're here, I fell down the stairs. Listen, and without those security cameras, y'all would never know the mess that goes down in this house. Okay, I was going downstairs. I just woke up to feed my cat.
Oh, I got the video. I just remember.
I posted the video. I'm so dead. And I had socks on, and you do not wear socks on hardwood floors.
Don't. Not fuzzies.
No, you're asking.
You're asking for shit.
You're asking for it. Y'all always see my slides. I didn't have them on.
Was there water in that cup?
Oh, I was soaking wet. You couldn't, because I have a black t-shirt on, you couldn't see on camera all the water. I was soaking wet. Literally soaking wet.
I was too focused on the limp away.
You can't see the water, but it literally dumps right on top of me.
I literally thought that because I was like, I saw you with the bottle. I was like, was it empty? Did she have water in there? Like, is the water just going down the fucking stairs?
No, all over me. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. I mean, my back hurt that entire day.
But you were fine.
Yeah, it was just sore from me falling on it, but I was totally fine. I got
Luckily,
so
you're
lucky.
Limber.
You know what? Someone else said that. They were like, because you're in the comments, they were like, because you work out and do yoga, you're limber.
That's so funny. I literally thought that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're probably like, because you're not constantly tense. So I'm saying because you're relaxing your body for that. So if you fell down, you're like extremely tense. You're gonna probably hurt yourself more.
It's like Gumby falling down the stairs.
Correct. It's literally like a slinky. Like this.
It's a pit, but honestly, let me tell y'all, so everybody's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, laugh, because if I was like hospitalized, I probably wouldn't have posted it.
Of course not.
I'm always okay if I post it, and I just want you to get a laugh for your day. That's all. My body
I laughed.
fine.
I sent it to my mom.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, it was so funny. She literally was dying. She sent me a voice after cracking up. She was like, poor Laura,
the way I
away. Flung? No, literally, I was like, she flung. I was like, that poor woman literally like yeeted. Her whole fucking feet were above her head.
Not my cat in a different county by the time I landed.
The cat's yeet too was crazy. Even Yoshi, who don't move, was like,
she was like, what you doing, girl?
She walked up to you after, she's like,
you good?
What the fuck was that?
Yoshi's sick of my shit.
Like, you scared me for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
That fall, that was like a real fall too.
It was.
Like, that was a real one. I haven't fallen like that.
I know, me either.
Years.
It's been a minute. You know, I'm a faller.
No, I know, but like,
I
haven't even fallen like that in
It's been a hot minute.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't want to fall at this ripe age now.
Honey.
Like, that shit fucking hurts when you fall in your 30s.
Anything could go wrong.
No, baby, I had a kink in my neck for like a week and a half.
I remember that.
Like, what?
Horrible.
I'm just now getting over it. I can barely... Oh, it's getting there.
You're like,
I'm getting there. I can almost look all the way back. I literally was at the gym using their like hypersonic thing, like drilling into my shoulder and it helped. Actually, it did help. So if you ever have like a kink in your neck and those like sonic little guns, they do help with that. Thank you so much to Shopify for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys. I love Shopify. I'm gonna be so for real. Me and Laura both use Shopify for our businesses, Lunar Beauty and Minimum LA. And honestly, Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel, Gymshark, etc., to brands like are just really barely getting started, or indie brands like our own. Shopify really is just that girl.
What if I need to boost sales with the 99.99 uptime and the best converting checkout on the planet? You'll never miss a sale again, only at Shopify. I find that Shopify is so awesome to use, especially for small businesses, because they make it so user-friendly. And whenever you get back there with all the data and it's so technical, it can be confusing, but not with Shopify. Me and Manny have both used them for years and years, and they truly make it so easy, even for a small business owner.
Turn those what ifs into... and keep giving those big dreams the best shot with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/full coverage. Go to shopify.com/full coverage, shopify.com/full coverage.
Well, what's your pit other than your neck?
My pit is, honestly, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about what's happening in LA with the ice raids and everything happening in Southern California as my pit, because it is something that's been so heart-wrenching for me and something that's been so hard to see because I'm Mexican. I grew up in Southern California. So seeing the ice raids happening and people taking from their homes, from their jobs, and like leaving their kids literally essentially stranded, it's just such a horrific thing to see. And what's really been frustrating me too is people in my DMs who don't know better, who are being fed different things completely, telling me like, oh, well, they're criminals, you know what I mean? Or, oh, they should have done it the right way. The thing is, to become a legalized citizen, it costs thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It's not some easy thing. And when people are doing it the right way, there's been videos and there's proof of this happening. They're showing up to the court. They're showing up to their cases. They're getting taken from ICE.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like when people are even trying to do it the right way, they have spent the money doing it, they're still being abducted and they're still being taken. And honestly, like, it's also being shown, which I didn't actually even know this, I was ignorant on this topic, that it's actually more of like a misdemeanor. It's like being an undocumented. It's not like it's jaywalking.
To be undocumented in the United States. It is not a federal.
It's not some federal crime.
Yeah.
So they're treating them like they're literal, it's like criminals, and they're abducting them and they're taking them. And it literally, people are talking about it like it's actual kidnapping when they're doing it in that way, because there's like a due process for that. Even being deported, there's due process. So the fact that they're doing it and the way they're doing it is just so nasty and crazy. And the fact that we're even getting the National Guard called on LA for like how crazy it's gotten. It hasn't gotten crazy, you guys. I'm telling you this right now as someone who lives in LA. It is the protests.
A lot of the
they're not
media
crazy.
has made it out to be crazier than what it is.
It's not, you guys. It's
so unless you're in
not.
Southern California, unless you're in Los Angeles and you're witnessing yourself, the media will take a pebble and turn it into a mountain.
Yep.
And we haven't had the National Guard called into the United States since the 90s. We haven't needed them.
No.
We had Black Lives Matter. We've had multiple protests, and we did not have to call in the National Guard to control protests. And for some reason, they're here.
Well, Governor literally said, do not send them.
Yes, we don't need them.
Governor
We don't
was
need
like,
them.
do not send the National Guard. We do not need them. Like, the riots are, like, they're not even, like, riots.
No.
It's literally they're protests.
No.
And it's gotten, like, out of hand at times, but they've been protests. They've been actually very peaceful protests. There's so many videos. There's so much footage out there of the protests and how calm they are. And it's literally just people banding together, you know, just speaking about their truth and what's right. And we don't need the National Guard here. So I think that it's just really unfortunate. And I've been sharing resources on my stories on IG if you guys want to see that. So has Laura. And we just want you guys to be safe, be okay, know your rights when it comes to that.
Also, me and Manny, we just want to say we understand what a privilege it is to be born in the United States of America, and we didn't choose to be born here. It was luck. It was literal luck.
It's divine.
It's just divine luck that we're here, and we realize and recognize that as a privilege that we do have.
Everyone in the United States is privileged with that, you guys.
Yeah.
If you're born in the US, you have a privilege in that way. And the thing is, let me also be so fucking for real quick. Mexicans don't want to come here to work for no reason. Okay? They're not coming out here to uproot their lives, to leave their families behind if they didn't have to and it wasn't a dire situation. They can make more money in the United States, and that's what they're doing. A parent from a family of like 5 will come out to the United States, work, and just send money back home. They have left their kids behind. They have left their entire life, their everything behind to work, and it's working jobs that people don't want to fucking work here in the first place.
100%.
Like, it's crazy.
My Spanish teacher in 10th grade actually taught me that.
Really?
My Spanish teacher in the 10th grade sat us down, and I didn't even really realize how deep of a lesson I was learning, but it was very eye-opening, and now I'm my age now, and I
completely different, just
and
not the same.
I still remember it because, like, I didn't understand everything, but she was a Mexican lady, and she explained why people come to the United States, and they all live together, and they all work so hard to send money back home.
That's all
for
they're
their
doing.
families to survive. And like that was just a huge eye-opener for me.
And you think they want to leave their families behind?
Yeah.
You think that if they didn't have another option, at the end of the day, they can make more money here, so that's why they're here and they're working.
It's a humanity thing.
It's a humanity thing. It really is. It's like, if you guys can't have empathy for that,
right?
I don't know what like you can have empathy for. I genuinely don't. Human to human. These videos that are popping up, and it like applies for like literally anything.
I do feel like people get fed a lot of nonsense in the media that tricks them into believing that everybody is just a criminal. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the frustrating part about it is like the administration has said, we're going to be deporting criminals. We're going to be deporting, you know, like that word. I just don't want to say it for the pod. And so how are you deporting a mother that's working in the fashion district sewing clothing while her kids are at school? How is that deporting a criminal?
Right.
She's literally just trying to make ends meet for her family. That's all that she's trying to do. So how is that part of what the administration said that was going to be happening?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So the whole thing is honestly so shocking and so crazy, and like to even happen in a city here in Los Angeles when it's just like such a boiling pot. And LA, you guys, it is like Mexicans are the backbone of LA. Let's be so fucking for real.
100%.
Mexicans are what like LA is comprised of.
Yes.
Also, like if we want to really clock the tea of the reason you're seeing people saying you can't be immigrants on stolen land. California was Mexico's first for years, and the United States stole California from Mexico.
Right. So if you come to LA, it's all Hispanic culture here, right?
Why is it called Los Angeles? That's literally a Spanish word.
Right.
Why would we have Spanish cities, Spanish style homes, and Spanish everything here in LA and in Southern California, in California in general, if it wasn't Mexico's first? So what we're trying to say, and just trying to be like, open your eyes about the situation. This to happen in LA, it's actually so mind-boggling because it is literally like the land of Latin and Mexican culture. And this happening is honestly fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like being so fucking for real.
Yes.
So it's so heartbreaking. It's so heart-wrenching. And we're both doing what we can to like just share resources and information, and just trying to keep everyone like just aware of what's happening. And you know, if you don't see this, and let's say you're a watcher of ours and you're watching the news, and let's say you're watching Fox News, right? And you're seeing like, oh my God, look at this violent crime happening in LA. It's not violent crime happening here. I promise you. Take it from us. Like it's not like that. They're showing you a narrative that is not true. It really is not true. And the media is spinning a narrative a certain way to fit a narrative that they want it to be fitted. So it's not the reality. Things are very calm and very chill here. And they're peacefully protesting something that is diabolical, honestly.
Right.
So I just want to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy you brought that up. I'm so happy to talk about it. I'm so happy to use our platforms to talk about it. So
100%.
It's hard to trail into our topics now.
It is. Honestly, it is.
It is because that's like real. I mean, that's
just
serious. That's deep. And then we go talking about fucking Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively suing each other over
100%. No, and it's like so
trivial.
$400
million.
It's so trivial.
You know,
it really is. When this is like real life, real things happening, real families getting broken apart, like kids not knowing if they're gonna ever see their parents again because they're getting deported back to Mexico. It's literally like the worst thing. And I saw videos too that were literally like, well, why are we so focused on deporting Mexicans? Like, if there's people from all over the world being here, like, why don't you deport everyone? And it's like, yeah, why don't you? Like, why? There is aspects of that. Like, why pinpoint on just the Mexicans? Like, a lot of it doesn't make sense, truly. So, it is sad, and
our hearts are heavy for our city.
It is. It really is. And it's been heavy for heavy for days. And that's why I even wanted to talk about it, because it's just been so tough to even like, I don't know, feel like even live like normal in a weird way. It feels so, I mean, I'm Mexican. I grew up 5 minutes from the border. La migra is not something I'm so unfamiliar with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so aware, and I have family who's not documented and just trying to make better lives for their families back home.
Right.
Okay. No, let me tell you something. Mexicans are not freeloaders.
Yeah. Oh my God. The hardest working people I have ever met in my life.
Ever. Truly. They are just working to make money for their family. That's all they're doing. They're not here to take people's jobs. What are you going to work the jobs? You're going to be in the fields picking fruit?
No.
Okay, then. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
But I hate seeing comments that are like, Mexicans are freeloaders, are here, on our dime. And it's like, they're paying taxes too, though. Yeah. If they're working, they're going to be paying taxes. So the whole situation is really just dire, honestly, and it's really fucking crazy. And it is hard to pivot into the next topic, but we are going to be talking about something a little bit lighter, just because I feel like if I talk about this constantly, I'm just going to be in a bad, like, it would put me in a weird space anyway. So it's nice to get a little bit of a reprieve to just talk about something a little lighter than what's happening.
Yeah. Well, for rapid fire today, We have
several topics that we would like to hit on. Let me pull up your text that we, well, like, me and Laura will literally send each other text messages and like jot down our points.
Yes.
So we have a reference point for them. This episode of Full Coverage is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah. From vacation rentals to hotels across the United States, Booking.com has the ideal summer stay for absolutely anyone, even those who might seem impossible to please.
Whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, your sleep light early rise mom, or your high maintenance group chat, which, hey, we have one of those.
Maybe. I get it.
Our friends trip is definitely making it out of the group chat this year. Where should we go?
Oh, that's a good question. Where are we going to go? I mean, as long as we're using Booking.com, that's all that really matters to
Period.
Me. But we will figure out a cute little place to go for sure.
You'll find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com. I love Booking.com. I travel a lot, so there are a lot of specifics that I'm looking for. They always do a great job of showing you exactly what you're getting, so there are no surprises.
A big room.
Yes. If I can find my perfect stay on Booking.com, anyone can.
Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app.
Thank you to Shady Rays for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. You know what I love about my Shady Ray sunglasses? Well, I love that they have a tangle-free collection where they make like the nose pieces designed to avoid snagging your hair. It's so annoying whenever you have your favorite shades on and then you go to pull them down and they just rip your hair to pieces.
That is honestly the freaking worst, but luckily they have an entire line dedicated to tangle free, which I think is so cool. And they have so many iconic designs. They have cat eye, aviator. They also have really great premium polarized sunglasses. So I just think that's really, really awesome. And I actually have used their polarized for when I'm working out outside. And the only time I'm ever working out outside is when I'm playing tennis or doing something like that, honey. You know, I ain't really doing that much. And I've seen Laura actually running in her Shady Rays at the beach. So I actually think that's a really, really cool that they have so many options.
Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out an amazing deal for the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code FOOL for 35% off their premium polarized sunglasses. Snag your shades and get ready for the summer sun.
Thank you so much to Koala for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys. There are so many things that are just absolutely amazing to have come out of Australia. Specifically, let me just clock this tea, the Hemsworth brothers.
Ooh.
All of them, all fine. I'll take all of them. But the new favorite here on Full Coverage is the Austin export that's finally available in the US, and it is the Koala sofa bed.
Unlike traditional sofa beds, Koalas are designed for pure comfort. Also, they're inspired by Aussie Outback. Koala delivers Instagram-worthy colors, no sand beige, no millennial gray here. They make the most comfortable sofa beds. You guys have got to check them out. They even have their own technology inside. They even do a 120-night risk-free trial. I love the functionality of their sofa beds, and they're just so convenient.
Upgrade your space with the most stylish, customizable, and elevated sofa bed available. To get up to $250 off your new sofa plus fast shipping, go to us.koala.com/full coverage. That's us.koala.com/full coverage to get up to $250 off your new sofa. Koala, comfy, easy, and sustainable.
So as far as Justin Baldoni's case, it was dismissed from the court. So what that means is the judge kind of threw it out in a way, and it means that the case cannot come back based on their claims in the way that it is. The judge said, change your claims up because you basically don't have a case here.
Yeah.
So according to AP, is Associated Press News, they wrote a report on like why it got thrown out. Because me and Manny were like, okay, but why did it get thrown out?
Well, I was like, what?
The New York judge ruled, this is their, I'm quoting, that Baldoni can't sue Lively for defamation over claims she made in her legal claims. So Justin Baldoni was suing Blake Lively because of the claims in her case.
Which that's like, you can't do that.
Yeah, he was like, She's
not making public claims. These are claims in her court case.
So he was like, that's not a case of defamation. So that part got thrown out. And then there was a second part that claims that Blake Lively stole creative control of the film that didn't count. That does not count as extortion under California law. So the judge threw that out. And those were the two claims that he was suing $400 million for. So the judge said, it's not defamation if she's making these claims in a suit. And it's not extortion for her to claim that you stole creative control. That's not extortion under California law. So it said, the judge said Baldoni could revise the lawsuit if he wanted to pursue different claims related to whether Lively breached or interfered with the contract. His legal team said they plan to do so.
Well, of course the legal team planned to do so because they're like, bitch,
they're never going to say.
They're never going to stop. And I think that it's like they're also trying to milk Justin for like what it's worth as well. Like, they're like, bitch, you know the team's like, we can keep going.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to say we can keep going. They want to fucking make money.
Right. And, you know, this doesn't mean Blake Lively won by any means. It just means he's definitely not going to win the more. It's dismissed. His lawsuit.
For what it was.
For what it was, what he was suing for, it's dismissed. It's done. And it can't come back to court for what he was suing for. But they were like, you can change it up and bring it back. But Blake Lively's smear campaign is so bad that she's already lost.
God. And
now he's lost too.
I feel like to me, like they've both lost in this situation. Truly.
Manny, agreed.
Like, I don't think that because it's grown so many legs and it's gotten so hairy over the course of so long, months of this. I think that actually they're both in such a loss. And I think really it's about like, okay, who's going to make it out, like winning the case.
Yeah.
Whereas, because I feel like in the court of public opinion, they both
lost. They both lost. They both have
some might be more than others in different opinions and different eyes, but they both have damaged each other's reputations so much. And like you see all this shit. And even like, I remember like Justin was trying to like, I think his team was trying to like make Taylor Swift like part of it in some way. Where
they were trying to pull Taylor in.
Girl, what are you doing? Like, it just got weird.
It did get weird. I always said that a big red flag for me, I don't think Blake is innocent in any of this, but a big red flag at the beginning of this was me when it exposed Justin Baldoni for saying he wants a smear campaign on Blake Lively as bad as Amber Heard.
Yeah.
For me, I immediately was like,
that's sick.
That's so sick. And for anyone to just blindly be like, fuck yeah, Justin Baldoni, after reading that, I'm like, how? How can you? But also, like, I'm not sitting here like, fuck yeah, Blake Lively. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like, I think that this is just a shit show and they both fucked up. And I've said that from the jump.
Yeah. I think it's literally... It's become such a fucking shit show that I'm literally like, you guys, I don't even know what can even be done. And I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, for me, if I was in this, I feel like they're so far deep that they're like, we're not going to stop until we
Do you think
lose or win.
Blake is going to win something because hers didn't get thrown out?
I don't know. I mean, Blake's team's already fully making statements and being like, this is such a win for us.
Yes.
Like, I saw Blake personally post and like tag, which I also find fascinating too, because she like had tagged all these like resources for women. And then in the beginning, I was like, girl, it was about like wear your florals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was so not that. And then it, you know, evolved into what it became. So now she's like sharing like all these links and resources for like women's. And I was kind of like,
I don't think she did this for women. I think she did this because she got a smear campaign done on her that was so bad for her career that she ended up having to take it to court to try to prove some wrongdoing on Justin's part, you know. And I don't think any of this is like,
because remember it was also like about too, like she was basically saying there was like sexual harassment on like,
that's in her case.
Yeah, it's in her case, like that there was like harassment and like he throughout the case I've been like just trying to disprove it, be like, no, I never was trying to like even, or like the shaming about her weight. It's like I had like a back condition, like all these different things. It's become so he said, she said.
Very that.
In a way that it's kind of like, well, the case is so like, it's evolved in something completely more than just a case would be, because it's taken so many legs, like I was saying. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
I definitely look at them both differently after this.
I do too.
I just do. That's both. Why I say, like, at the end of the day, no one is going to win this. Like, yeah, Justin's case may have gotten thrown out, and yeah, of course, that's going to be a win for Blake's side. Obviously, his complete lawsuit just got dismissed.
I would leave like this.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this is just horrible on both parts. It's a fucking disaster. But wouldn't his legal team know,
like, that would never count in court?
That is what I get so confused about, because obviously me and Manny aren't attorneys.
Yeah,
we don't know every nuance of the California state law. So, like, we don't know, but you would think that if a lawyer was doing a $400 million lawsuit, that he would make sure that all the claims were like dot those I's and make sure like this isn't stuff that could just get dismissed and not even taken to court.
Well, especially when it's like, oh, you know, the claims and the allegations and lawsuit like being exempt because they were in the lawsuit. So it's like, so then
doesn't the lawyer know that?
Yeah, why wouldn't the lawyer know that, like, hey, this is gonna be exempt because it's not even, she's not.
That's why I get confused. What? I'm like, was there an ulterior motive in like just starting the $400 million lawsuit?
I definitely think
knowing
so.
you didn't have a case, and
I definitely think so. Just to countersue,
right? Just to countersue,
like, the sake of just being in a law. I genuinely think that they're like, we have no grounds, but we're just gonna have to like.
Most people do countersue.
Yeah, I feel like they literally were just like, they have no grounds.
It's like a reputation saver, because like if you're suing me and I'm suing you, well then it kind of goes up in the air as to who's the bad guy.
It's almost like, oh, I'm bringing you down with me. Then.
Yeah,
that's literally what it
very
felt like.
that. So maybe that was the point, but like I don't understand all the legal stuff, but this is just absolutely wild.
I literally think that was the point. Now thinking about it, because when you're seeing
doesn't
like,
that
the judge throwing it out, because so then was there a case to begin with?
Probably not. It was probably just
so
like a counter.
Literally like, we've got to shut her. So we have to get her back. Like I literally, that's what I'm thinking, that like, oh, let's just go there. I was like, if I'm going down, then you're going down.
Is literally still doing movies right now.
She's fine.
Honey, she's fine. And yes, it's a smear campaign. Yes, she gets a lot of hate, but she's chilling.
Maybe
she's
with
chilling.
those Ryan Reynolds pockets,
child,
she'll be just fucking.
She's gonna make it out of the woods.
Sunset forever and be completely fine and have generational wealth.
Yes,
they're gonna be just fucking fine. So yeah, that is like kind of crazy though. I'm intrigued to see if they continue.
Yeah.
Like if
he really does change up the case
and
continue, because I feel like if they were, he would have led with a case that would have stuck. Was stronger. And yeah, if they could, they would have led with one. So
100%.
Okay, our next topic. Do you want to talk about Love Island?
I think we have to.
I think we have to dip into Love Island.
You guys, can we just dip into Love Island really quickly? We're gonna have to skip forward a little bit on this one, if you don't want any spoilers. But there's a new season of Love Island, and we were so enthralled and enveloped in the last season of Love Island that we're like, of course we have to start. I will say it was on a slow start for me. I was kind of like, I'm scared. Like
already last year was better.
Oh, for sure.
But we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like now that we're, seven episodes in?
I think tonight comes out 8.
Yeah, we're 7 episodes in, 6 because we're not watching After Sun. This would be so fun.
I will never watch After Sun.
So I feel like we're in that, but in the beginning, it was slow for me.
It was a slow burn.
I was literally like, and I felt like some of the people, they were trying so hard because it was TV. And like, it's hard to like explain. Like, I feel like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Bella, let me just tell you, Loca. Okay. In the beginning, when she was like doing stuff, one of like the most beautiful girls I've ever seen in my entire life. I actually was gobsmacked by her beauty. But I felt like she was so nervous. And she was doing these like isms to try to like distract from that, or kind of she'd be like, she gives me very millennial core, like
she wouldn't even say words. She'd be like,
No, get this. Do you know what was really funny? It was cracking me up. She was having a conversation with
Nick.
With Nick, the one where she's sitting down and she's like, beach. You know what I'm talking about? She's like, I had a dream, and he's like, what would you like? Would you graduate? Like, what would you graduate? And she's like, the highest. And he's like, what are you passionate about? The beach.
He like says something like, he was like, yeah, like you and what's her name? Sierra, like 50-50. That's literally what she said to him. No also, words are being articulated. And the problem is because I'm telling you, she's too nervous.
She's nervous.
She's too nervous because whenever she's sitting down in the room with the girls and it's just them, she has normal conversations. Yep. But talking my normally, point is, so I'm
her accent. There's so many accents in there combined. I don't know what's happening.
It is cringe. It's very cringe.
It's cringe.
So I'm voice noting Manny as I'm watching, and I'm like, can you please explain to me how out of all the people in the world that want to be on Love Island, which is a lot of people, how do they come down to a person who is freaking the fuck out on camera, who like is so nervous they can barely even function on the camera? And I'm okay. It's like, okay, I get it. She's like not kissing any of the guys, but like if you've ever watched the show Love Island, that's like what the show is. And I totally respect a girl that respects boundaries, because most girls would honestly never make out with like 5 guys in a row.
No.
But that's what the show is. That's like what the whole point in the show. That's what they're doing on the show. So it's just like it was a very interesting casting. And Manny brought up a good point. He was like, I think they do it on purpose. I think they try to find these people, like throw in just like 1 or 2 that are going to be too nervous to function on the show. And how can those people interact with girls stealing their man, with girls coming in super confident on the show? So it's like
bombshells. The whole point is literally having bombshells coming in and then kind of stirring up shit when it comes to people with, in their current relationships. So why not cast people in the original portion, like that's like the first main cast, to be like, okay, this person seems like they could be a little bit more insecure about this one thing, and this person might be really nervous. It's gonna stir shit up when a bombshell comes in and cause drama. Like, look what's happening. Like, it's crazy. Let's just actually even go in like by the couples. Huda and Jeremiah, what do you think?
I'm so fucking sick of Huda and Jeremiah. I don't want to see them on my screen again. I don't care if it's a hot take. I don't care if everybody's like, I like that they're... Because after she showed her colors whenever they were doing the challenge in the game, and like that one girl decided to put Jeremiah as her number 4 so she could like make out with him, and the way Huda acted, it was so funny because people were like, I bet Huda is really emotionally mature because she's a mother.
I thought the same thing. I literally thought,
I've never seen more immaturity in my life. I'm so sick of how close No, like, get out.
It was cringe to me.
So bad. It was so bad.
Cringe.
And then the way she talked, Amaya. The way she talked about Amaya, another woman, like she's a dog for playing the game and coming in and doing the show, how the show is supposed to be done. Talks about this woman like she is a piece of trash.
She's like, I don't like her. I'm never going to like her.
She was literally name calling. I can just tell, you guys, it's not because she was trying to get with my man, but I can just tell.
Like, she's just shit.
Yeah.
I don't like her.
And then 2 seconds later, hugging her while she's crying and upset. She's crying, and Huda is consoling her, telling her all these positive things. Oh, you're a baddie. Really? Because 24 hours ago, you were calling her every fucking name in the book. So which one is it? So those are the things that piss me off about Huda. And the Jeremiah guy, I don't like Ace either, but he's dead on the dollar. He's a rat. He's an
Ace or
absolute
Jeremiah?
Jeremiah.
Why do you think so?
I think Jeremiah is doing it because he wants to win the show. So he's just attached himself and he's going to try to write it out. But I think it's going to get really interesting at Casa.
Do you know what's crazy to me is that he's doesn't
fishy.
seem...
He is fishy.
I don't know. It's like there's something about him. Like
I'm not convinced.
I'm not either.
After the face he made, you have to look dead in his eyes after she tells him that she's a mother. Look at this man's face. He turned white. He said,
a ghost. He was a
ghost.
And she's like, look at me. And he's like, I can't.
Yeah.
Give me time.
I'm telling you, Ace is sniffing it out. There's something fishy there. I don't trust Jeremiah.
Who's your favorite top one?
Number one.
On three. Wait.
Let me think. Wait, girl or guy?
Girl. Top number 1 on 3. Yeah, I have mine. 1, 2, 3.
Shelly.
Shelly is truly like no man deserves her. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. Like no one there deserves her.
Alondria.
Love.
She's from Decatur, Alabama.
I know you. I knew you were gonna scream because when I saw her, I'm like, oh my god, she's from Alabama. I'm gagged.
She has this little twang of a country.
I can hear
Do you hear
it.
it? And I go.
And the more she's with Taylor, the twang comes out stronger.
It does. But Taylor is trash. Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Look us so dead in the fucking eye right now.
Girl, look us so dead in the eye.
I actually think Taylor is like a funny, go lucky kind of guy, right? I think that he's like a funny reprieve.
Yeah, but he's too big of a puss to man up and tell her how he feels. He's stringing her along.
Mm-hmm. He literally told. Okay, this is what gagged me. Okay, this is what gagged me fierce. He literally tells one of the other guys, "Be like, I'm just like not like physically attracted to her." Ace, I'm not physically attracted to her, and I'm like, "Have you seen you?" Alondri's a full fucking 10.
He is so confident to tell Ace that. But whenever she looks that man dead in his eye and asks him, he says nothing. He just looks at her. Can't stand him. I can't stand him. I cannot. He is wasting her time. I hope she doesn't pick him in the next round because the girls will get to pick. Yep. I hope she gets rid of him. And then I've loved Ace the most the whole show until last night's episode where he gaslit and manipulated Amaya. What he wants, Ace wants Shelly to chase after him because that's what he feeds him. That's what craves him. Men, they're not. This man is not looking for a relationship. He's not looking for love. He's looking for a chase, a hot dopamine hit. And Shelly
can't spell chase without Ace.
Oh, that got deep. That's the deepest thing you've ever said.
I'm gonna tweet that.
But everyone was shocked when Chase chose the new bombshell, Amaya, and not Shelly, because the whole time he's like, me and you, Shelly, me and you, Shelly. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. Period. He then goes and picks Amaya because Amaya is not throwing herself at him, but she's made it very clear that she really likes him. So he picks her. And the moment they sit down, imagine, Manny, a guy picks me and he's like, let me get some things straight. I don't want to cuddle with you. I don't want to kiss you. I'm going to be talking to other girls. Don't ever call me babe again.
No, you guys, honestly, the thing is, and it's funny because I understand the aspect of like having a boundary 100%. I get people having boundaries for sure. And I'm not saying he can't set a boundary for himself and what he's feeling, but the cadence in which you speak and the way it comes across.
But he didn't have one conversation with her after he chose her to couple up.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He did not
the way he's doing it. He's not doing it the right way.
He didn't say one time, I'm really happy I chose you and I'm happy we're able to explore. Not one time. He just immediately went to shooting her down, and that's what men do that love the chase.
Yep.
So then he calls Shelly over after he's got Amaya crying her eyes out, feeling crazy because he's gaslighting and manipulating her. He calls Shelly over, which is the girl he wants to chase him, and he's like, he straight up look. What'd you think when I picked Amaya? That's all he wanted. What'd you think when I picked? She was like, didn't care. Cool.
This is why Shelly's a 10. This is why Shelly is that girl. It's because she literally is like.
Talk about Austin, girl.
Okay, you guys.
Give it to us.
Let's clock this actual tea real quick. Austin was my least favorite starting.
Same.
I literally was like, and I've seen those videos of him online. I've seen the things he's been posting. I'm like, trash, hate him. I need him off the show immediately. Vote him out. Why, as we're in 7 episodes deep, is he making the most sense?
Why?
It doesn't make sense. I hate that.
That I like him. Like on the show and like his take on things.
Pisses me off.
He gets it.
Yep.
He sees what's happening. He calls it. He has treated Shelly with nothing but a queen. He's never gaslit her. He's never tried to get her to chase him and play a game with her at all. He's been so upfront with every single girl that he's talked to.
Which is gagging me.
And now he's calling out the guys on their shit and no one else does. He's the only one that's making sense.
I'm literally scratching my head. I'm like, why is Austin making sense? This makes me mad.
Austin is the only guy on the show that makes sense.
He's pissing me off that he's making sense.
I know.
Nick's over here in a fucking love triangle. Was so confused for episodes.
Also, when Nick kissed Bella and didn't tell Sierra.
No, when Alondra is like, they were kissing so tight.
Oh! That's me. That's me as fuck.
Literally you. This Alabama.
Bitch, that's
she
me.
She would have done the same. She'd be like, oh, my bad.
Oh, that is such a Laura Lee. Like, I would fuck up in a heartbeat and do that. 100%.
But see, the thing is, my second favorite would actually be Sierra. I have like a,
love her.
thing for her.
No, love her.
I just love her. I love the way she speaks.
She's too smitten by Nick, and she will let him run over her.
100%.
I see it. I feel it. She's so enthralled with him.
And I'm like, I was like, girl, you are such a fucking
10,
and you're so like cool, and just like I love her vibe, everything about her I just really, really enjoy. So I'm really pissed about the Nick situation, because I'm like, girl, Nick ain't shit. Baby, we all know he's gay.
Is he gay? I'm like, oh, is he? Well, okay, well that's our tea.
That's our little tea. We're only 7 episodes deep, but girl,
we have a lot of opinions. You guys tell us your opinions. They don't have to be the same as ours. You can be like, Laura, you're wrong about Huda. Laura, you're wrong about Ace. Like, you can give it to me.
Give it to us.
Tell me what you're thinking, please. Keyboard warriors, it's time for you. It's time for you to lock in.
Ace made Amaya look crazy. Let's be so fucking
Ace
real.
made Amaya look crazy, and he's crazy. I see guys like that. I know exactly what's up to. And by the way, Ace was my number one.
God.
Until he pulled that shit, because I feel like he was keeping it so real.
And why is he smiling through the whole thing in a weird way? He's like this. He's like,
because he knows how cute he looks. He is very handsome.
He's so fine.
He
is.
Pisses
me off.
And he knows it. That's why he's making those faces. Girl.
I'm like, shut up, you hottie. Pissing me off, being all hot and stuff. So annoying.
So annoying.
Full coverage is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash?
I actually have, because I feel like insurance companies' price vary all the time.
Absolutely, depending on like what you kind of need for the insurance. Well, Progressive actually makes it super easy. You just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes a few minutes, and it could actually mean hundreds more in your pocket yearly.
Progressive makes it so easy to save money. I know switching insurance companies and all seems like a huge hassle, and finding something that fits in your budget, but Progressive has tools to truly make it so easy for you, and they have a ton of bundling options to help you save. You guys can visit progressive.com after this episode to see if you can save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary and not available in all states. Thank you to Boulevard for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. Boulevard is the #1 client experience platform built specifically for appointments-based self-care businesses, because spas, salons, barbershop, med spas, and other self-care businesses are so personal. The platform powering your business should also feel the same. Managing multiple business locations shouldn't require 3 different platforms, 5 different logins, and a spreadsheet that only one person knows how to use. It's time you consolidate all of your needs into one easy-to-use platform for you, your clients to actually enjoy using with Boulevard.
Whether it's online booking, payments, appointment reminders, client profiles, and more, Boulevard makes every interaction seamless and every part of your business look polished and professional. No more no-shows, scheduling headaches, chaos behind the counter, just smooth operations and happier clients. I actually think this is such a genius thing, because I've never heard of a company like this that kind of puts everything in one when it comes to, you know, your personal health, med spas, and just like that client experience. I think it's such a genius platform.
Right now, Boulevard is offering new customers 10% off your first year subscription when you go and join blvd.com/full and book a demo. That's JOIN BLVD.com/full. Book a demo. Get 10% off your first year subscription. Join blvd.com/full.
This podcast is sponsored by Naked Wines. Have you ever wanted to learn more about wine but can't figure out where to start? Or when you do start, it just feels like it's a lot, like it's too much? Our next partner, Naked Wines, actually has changed the game for learning about wine without having to take a whole class about it.
Naked Wines is a service that directly connects you to the world's finest independent winemakers, so you can get award-winning wine delivered straight to your door. I absolutely love that. They make it so easy. I feel like whenever you're going into the store to buy wine, it can be super overwhelming, but they have a really great collection on Naked Wines. How do they do it? Naked Wine connects winemakers and wine drinkers directly, allowing the vineyard straight to your door with up to 60% off what you would pay in store by cutting out the traditional retail middleman costs and markups.
Now's the time to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/fool, click enter voucher, and put in our code FOOL for both the code and password for 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/full and use the code and password FOOL for both 6 bottles of wine for $39.99.
Okay, next we have to talk about Wizard Liz.
Speaking of men.
Speaking
of trash.
Girl, this shit is crazy.
The Wizard Liz situation with... with Landon, it just, so you guys, in case you guys don't know, so Wizard Liz is actually a content creator. She has YouTube, TikTok, huge, millions, and actually has blown up from like self-help development for women.
Yes, so she's all about empowering women. That is like her shtick online. It's really incredible. She does a really good job on it, and her main focus is like teaching women that if a man cheats on you, he does not think you're worthy of loyalty, and she's right. But that's like how she's built the biggest part of her career, right? Take it from here, Manny.
Literally, her man that she's been with for so long that she's actually 4 months pregnant with her baby, his baby, cheat on her.
Yeah.
Are you fucking actually for real right now?
This little fucking nerd.
And he's ugly.
I know, Manny.
Like, and I'm sorry. And I usually don't talk about people like that. But let me tell you something. When you're a cheater, you're fucking hit. Point blank. Ugly ass little bitch. And the thing is, Wizard is so fine to me. Like, so gorge.
I literally, while I was getting ready today, I was like, I should bring out how fucking ugly Landon is. And I go,
like,
no, I better
Manny
not. No. I literally was like playing like in my head. I was like, don't do that because you're coming for someone's appearance. Manny goes, and he's ugly.
And he's
like right
ugly.
off the rip.
And he's
in the first
ugly. Okay,
well, there it is.
So, first of all, the thing is, to me, personality like plays a huge factor in like how someone even comes across. So if he was someone who was loyal, a 10, just absolutely amazing to her, incredible, I'm like, oh, he's cute. Like he's a cute guy. But the fact that he's a cheater, hit.
He was hit to me from the beginning.
Well, but the thing is,
there's
like,
something
I feel like
about him that's just like
creepy.
Yeah.
Have you seen like the whole you accusations? The accusations,
yes.
like the you comparison.
The stalker.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the thing.
Girl.
Somehow, I don't know how, but he cheated on her by trying to meet up with a girl on Snapchat, and the girl on Snapchat contacted the Wizard Liz and was like, hey, your man. So that's how he got caught up. So basically, I don't know how, but the messages got leaked that he sent to the girl on Snapchat, and it's really crazy because the girl he tried to cheat with and meet up with did not even want him. That's what's like, so crazy. She's like, no, I don't. Away. She literally was like, aren't you married? By the way, they were engaged, but they had rings. Like she had a ring because they were engaged. So the girl thought he was married, which same thing, whatever, you know, they're together. She was like saying in the Snapchat, he's like, well, you know, we need to meet up. She's like, aren't you married? And he was like basically trying to say the relationship wasn't real. And she's the whole time is like, no, I saw a picture. She has a ring. You're married. Like she's going the fuck in on him, and he's still trying to meet up with her.
He's a loser.
And she is like dead ass. This girl, I don't know who she is, but she was definitely a girl's girl. She read him to Phil. She got the fuck out of there, and then she went and exposed his ass to the Wizard Liz, who then took to IG story, writes a huge paragraph, exposes Landon for cheating, exposes that she's 4 months pregnant, and exposes that she lives by her word and what she says, and he's out. He's done. She's not wasting any time on him, which I love that because I think it's going to help a lot of women out there whose men have been unfaithful
to get out of it.
Yeah, like it might encourage them or empower them because she's 4 months pregnant. And you can't say that she's, you know, like this is
she's not a girl for by her word,
right?
What she's preaching, she's doing.
So that is really inspiring for people going through it out there. So I thought that was really cool. But then now this story keeps unfolding. So Landon does a bunch of IG stories which don't help his case at all. He's like, I slipped up, man. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're ugly ass.
I'm human.
It makes me sick. Anyways.
With your ugly ass. Now Laura no, before Laura was like, I'm not even gonna say anything about his looks.
I'm like, well, Manny
now he's fucking hit.
Well, Manny said it.
He started it. I did the door like this. I did the door like this.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say how I really feel now. Now that we said it, I'm gonna say how I really feel. So then Landon has another ex that took to TikTok, and she does a full story time on how do you
think this is real, by the way?
I don't know.
See, this is the part where it's kind of like you don't technically know on this aspect because it could be a stranger lying.
It could be a stranger lying.
Yes, you don't.
That's where the story gets.
That's where it gets a little spook.
Because people will believe anything too. People are just like
in the midst of this. That's why it's like she knew she was gonna get views on this.
I know.
That girl like.
It's like, why didn't you tell that story earlier, girl? Like you waited until like to dogpile. But so then it does leave to question, you know, the legitimacy of this girl's story. We don't know. We genuinely don't know. But she goes on to say that he's a stalker. He had stalked her therapist and talked to her therapist, like even gotten, you know, and then it's like, oh, this guy Landon's like the you guy, like he's a stalker. So the story of how Wizard Liz and him met, I think they had been talking and then they were at the airport at the same time and she had a mask on, but he was like, oh my God, is that you? Like just happened to be at this connection airport. And it is a weird story how they met. So people are like, well, the ex is saying he was a stalker. So like, girl, he was stalking you. And when Wizard Liz made a statement, was like, hey guys, like he didn't stalk me. He cheated. We broke up, but he didn't stalk me. And this girl in her story says that she talked to the Wizard Liz about it. And the girl is saying that's not true. I never talked to this girl.
Wizard Liz is like, that's not true. I never talked to her.
So then, you know, it's like, wait, is this girl telling the truth?
That's why. See, part of me feels like I don't think she's telling you the full truth then, because I do think that if Wizard is saying like, hey, you're essentially just lying on my name, we never talked, like this is crazy.
But tell me why TikTok turned on the Wizard Liz for not taking the ex's side. Because the Wizard Liz wasn't like, oh yeah, he's a crazy bitch. Like he's done it to all of us. No, she was like, this girl did not tell the truth. Like I never talked to her. And she was not like jumping on the bandwagon with the ex because the ex had some fibs in her story. Maybe the whole story not true. I don't know. But then the internet turned on the Wizard Liz.
I know. I do remember seeing
it
that.
Doesn't
And they
make
were literally
sense
like,
to me.
why are you defending Landon?
Yeah.
And it's like at the end of the day, in Wizard Liz's eyes, what we have to remember too is that it's technically still like the baby daddy. Like she still, I think that she would probably still want him in her life for the kid's sake. So I think there's like other aspects of it now. It's not just the aspect of like them being over because she, you know, is having a child. It honestly throws a huge like just curveball into the situation. So she's probably thinking like, I don't want him to kill himself is essentially what she's saying.
Yeah, because the girl had leaked his phone number, I believe, or like his contact. So, you know, it got to a dangerous point where she was like, hey, you guys got to stop the hate on Landon. Like we got to put a pin in this. So then people are like, oh, so you're defending him now.
Right.
Oh, you're not a girl.
And she's literally just like, no, bitch, it's too far.
Yeah.
That's literally what she's saying.
Yeah, she's like, I am, my life is torn up, you know, and so it's just all about.
She can't even focus on her pregnancy. She even said that. She was like, I can't focus on my pregnancy because I'm so worried that he's going to literally hurt himself.
Yeah.
So it's like, girl, you guys, with this, like everyone should just calm it down in that way.
That everybody has to take it down
just take
a
it
notch.
down another level.
It's because she's such a big creator that the situation is so shocking and polarizing to like every little aspect of it has been blown up. I do think if the ex has gone on and is lying about the situation, then she should be held accountable for that as well. Whereas we're not just blindly, you know, like wrongs are done, but two wrongs don't make a right either. Right. You know, like to dogpile
or trying to follow a situation, like girl,
to benefit off of it in any way. It's like not good. So it is a like tricky situation. There's a lot of nuances to it. There's a lot of back and forth. But at the end of the day, like, and I hope the best for her during this challenging time because it must be such a hard, I can't even imagine of how hard of a time this must be to go through for her.
God, it's so frustrating. And it's like, why is it when she's like, you did that while she was pregnant?
Yeah.
What a fucking dog.
I know.
That shit pisses me off.
A dog, a literal dog. Also, literally. She talks about how he like wouldn't leave her side for more than a week. He love bombed her. He had just written her a full book on how much he loved her, and like it just wasn't real. And it's just like so scary.
Oh, it's terrifying.
A guy, and I also feel like that Jeremiah guy on Love Island is a love bomber like that. Like I'm seeing that.
He's a love bomber. He's a love bomber.
I feel like he is a love bomber. I feel like that's exactly what he's doing. And that will eventually come out.
It's gonna get spooky. I think.
I think it's gonna get real spooky.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, last topic, guys, we have is have you guys seen the Stephanie Sue situation, who has been actually covering the Diddy case? So obviously P. Diddy, he's in court. The court's happening right now. And Stephanie Sue has actually been with the press and has been inside the court like the entire time, kind of taking notes because you can't record, you can't video anything there. So she's actually been inside there with her team, just like taking notes to recollect the entire case. You guys should honestly check it out. It's on something Mangoes. What is it called?
Rotten Mango.
So that's her podcast. And so if you guys want to like actually have like in-depth day-to-day case situation updates, go to that. She has been so in-depth with it, and she's absolutely incredible. But so there's a situation that's happening now where it's kind of like everyone's a little like spooked for her, because she's talking about this in one of her episodes, and she says that Diddy actually looked to her in her direction and in her vicinity with her team, and his mouths, "I know you." And he like kind of smirks and like turns around.
And at the first time he did it, because the courtroom has quite a few people in it, she said it felt like he was looking at her, but then she took it as, like, that's weird. Maybe he was looking at the person behind me or beside me, and it wasn't directed at me. But it was, because he does it a second time.
"I know you," and he mouths her, and he like.
And he didn't he kind of take his hand and like do his fingers and point a little bit towards her too. Like he had his hand, had like his hand like resting on his chin, and then he kind of tried to slyly like notion in her direction to make sure she understood. Yes.
And she's saying that, she's like, I think he literally is looking at me and saying, "I know you." And so now everyone's honestly really concerned for like her safety,
because now when court is adjourned and she's let out, she's saying multiple people are coming up to her and just be like, "Oh my God, hi, I watch you. Where are you staying?" They keep asking her which hotel she's staying in, and she said, it's crazy because after court gets out, multiple people will just keep asking where she's staying, so she keeps switching hotels that she's staying at for her safety, because she's like, it doesn't make any sense, and they just keep doing it, asking like just all kinds of personal questions, and they'll come up to her as a quote-unquote fan, but then they immediately get to the nitty-gritty and they want to know where she's staying, and it's just so scary.
She needs like security with her, honestly.
Yeah,
because this is such a scary thing, because again, like when it comes to Diddy, like the whole situation that's happening, like he's a scary person. He's been a scary person for years and years. The case is so big. It's just, and it's for something horrific. It's freaking human like, trafficking, for God's sakes, and like horrific stuff. So it's like someone who is as big as Stephanie Soon with the podcast covering that, and him mouthing to her, "I know you." That is so scary. I would literally be like, I think I'm done. Like but I think that's I feel like that's what Sean has been doing that his whole life.
Yeah.
He's been using intimidation tactics his entire life, and it's worked for him clearly up until now, where he's literally.
I'm just so glad that she is publicly saying every little thing that he's doing, and she's publicly talking about people coming up to her, because the thing is, if anything happens to her now, baby, all eyes are pointed at him and his resources. So I'm just happy that she's able to publicly say exactly what he's doing, exactly what he's saying to her, which, by the way, is that not like incriminating in some way? Hello?
He's like giggling about it too.
Yes.
And like, I think that
a smirk.
The judge even was like saying that he was like being too giggly, and like it was disruptive, and she literally was like, you have to stop doing that. Like to that extent, where he's literally like not taking the case seriously.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like really weird to me, and like weirdly concerning, that I'm like, oh, so you're just not taking it serious? You just think you're fucking fine?
Yeah.
Like you just think this is all fucking fine and dandy? Like, hello?
It's crazy because I think multiple people are doing the daily recaps of what happens in court, but like, why are we coming for this Stephanie girl? Maybe he doesn't like how big her platform is, because he has millions of people on the outside telling him what's going on his payroll.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
He knows that those videos are doing numbers, and she's giving like detailed explanations.
She said he told the artist that's drawing him in court to make him look softer. That, what did he say made him look like?
Fuck, what was it?
But anyways, he was like, draw me to look softer. Like, you're making me look too harsh, or whatever the word he used. But her point being, he's trying to manipulate the situation, and then looking at her multiple times saying, "I know you." So scary.
I would be honestly really scared. I'm not gonna lie.
She's very brave, and like I commend
really
her on doing this and staying and not letting a monster like him intimidate her or scare her out of that courtroom. And yeah, I really commend her, but I am like so praying for her safety in this situation. But I swear to fucking God,
her switching out, she's smart.
Yeah, oh yeah, and like publicly saying it. So if anything were to happen, like we all know what's going on. So that's really nice as well. But like, good for her for like being a brave woman in this crazy times to expose his ass.
It's so scary. Like I just have to give her so much props.
Yeah.
Truly, because like if it was me in that room and he looked at me and was like, "I know who you are," I literally would freak out. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd be like, "You see me on YouTube?"
I'd be like, "Hey, you subscribe."
You saw my channel.
You full fan?
You listen to my podcast. Fuck you.
No, so like this.
They're like, ma'am, get out of the courtroom.
Ma'am and sir, get the fuck out of here. If it was us in the courtroom, we'd be like, literally the whole fucking time. We'd be fucking giggling. I mean, no, we wouldn't because it's a serious thing, but like,
no,
it would be.
I would be shaking boots.
Actually be shaking boots.
Shaking boots.
No, it's honestly like really scary and really intimidating because when you put yourself in her shoes and you think like, oh my God, if P. Diddy looked at you and was like, I know you.
And all that you're hearing in the court that he's done to people.
Like I would literally melt in my chair.
Me too.
So it's like, I think I'm done covering, babe. So the fact that she still is, I'm like, honestly, incredible.
Sickening.
Brave.
But that's our last topic for today's episode of Rapid Fire. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget to leave us a comment and tell us what you're thinking about Love Island.
Please.
And we'll see you in our next episode.
Bye, you guys.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.